Growing Our Talents, written and narrated by Brother Rich Knapp. One of the parables that Jesus used during his ministry was the parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30. Jesus says that a man traveling into a far country called his servants and gave to them his goods. He gave one 5 talents, another 2 talents, and a third 1 talent. Then he left on his journey. When he came back to find what the servants had done with the money that he'd entrusted to them, the first 2 had doubled their shares, while the third hid his talent the entire time. The first 2 were rewarded for their good stewardship and allowed to, quote, enter into the joy of thy Lord, end quote, while the third was cast into outer darkness because of his poor stewardship. In the parable, the talents are the gospel. The Lord wants his servants to go out and grow the family of God, not to hide or keep it to themselves. But I'd like to look at this from a different perspective. While we, as servants of Jesus Christ, need to do our part to spread the gospel, we also need to grow our individual God-given talents. These talents ultimately aid in telling the story of Jesus Christ in our lives at a personal level. And just like in the parable, if we hide them, they won't grow and won't be used for their intended purposes. If God blessed me with a beautiful voice, which is not my talent by the way, and I never sang to give him honor and glory, then no one would have the opportunity to be blessed by beautiful music. If he blessed me with an abundance of peace and courage that I had no fear of talking to complete strangers about him when given the chance, and I never do it, then I won't be able to be used as a tool in God's hand for them to know Jesus Christ. The Lord has given all of us talents, and just like the parable, some have more and some have less. We all have exactly what is best for us because God knows what we can do and what we can handle, even if we don't think we can. All he asks of us is to work those talents to his honor and glory. He'll do the rest. Let's be like the first 2 servants in the parable, working hard while we're here on earth, spreading the joy of the gospel, using the talents God has given, so that when our race is over and we go before the bar of God, we can say we did everything we could and show him the return. Then we can enter into the joy of our Lord.